Welcome back, guys. This is Tough Choice. I am your host, Kazeem Rahman. On the hot seat today, we have one of our returning champions. Champion. I am a returning champion technically, but I'm not a champion because I'm the host. So it's you know what it is. You saw the title. It's me. It's our month of champions, and I usually round out the month every month with a little would you rather, some what would you do's. I go through the constant choice, and you know how we do. So like, share, subscribe to this podcast. We're growing and we love it. Tough Choice with Kazeem Rahman podcast is on all platforms. You know how we do here. We don't really waste any time. The game is Tough Choice. You must pick between the two choices. You must explain yourself. You get one pass, you get one pause. And at the end, of course, we have our final choice.
Let it begin. Let it begin.
I keep forgetting that we don't have a final choice on the deep dive episodes, but that's just who we are. So now let's review this month's constant choice.
Constant.
Every person in the month gets the same first question. This one was an interesting one because I kept trying to figure out how I wanted to feel, how I wanted to react. And it really was different each time depending on the energy of the person that was sitting across from me. Would you rather have a coworker, not an employee, I was about to say employee at first, have a coworker that does not understand personal space and is always gossiping, or have a coworker that always manages to get you to do their work and takes all the credit? Now, hear me out. Hear me out. Okay. I think someone that gossips all the time, listen, a little gossip here and there, I understand to an extent. A little bit. You're at work, you want to know what your other coworkers are up to. Why are they sick? Are they really sick? Maybe they're in, Sacramento. Maybe they took a weekend trip to Mexico. Maybe they, needed to get their nails did. Maybe their kid is really sick. Maybe, their husband did something. He's in jail. He has to go to the court hearing. I don't know. I've heard all the stories. I've been in all the gossip sessions. I've done this. I've done it all. I don't like people that gossip. Me personally, I try my hardest not to speak on other people's business. And that's just me. That's just me on who I am as a person. I try my hardest not to speak on other people's business. So for me, someone that wants to gossip, I'll listen. It's whatever. I'll just not really pay attention. I'm just going to be half listening, doing my work. The problem that comes into play here is the line doesn't understand personal space. I have been around people. I have been around coworkers. I've been around comics. I've been around strangers that don't seem to understand personal space. It is aggravating. It is annoying. It is low-key enraging sometimes. You know what I mean? Because if you're just always in my space, if you're over there and you're talking, cool, you're over there. I can always zone you out. But if you're in my personal space, man, I got a problem. Man, I have a problem with that. On the flip side, I have also, let me backtrack a little bit. When I was younger, I wouldn't say I was the smartest kid. I will say that I was a kid who knew how to finesse his way through school, up to high school. College was a different animal. But I knew how to finesse my way in the sense of I realized you don't really have to be smart in high school. You just have to know what's going to be on the test. Kind of in college also, but mostly in high school, you just have to know what needs to be done for me to succeed. I don't need to know theory. It's like A plus B equals C. That's the only thing. It's very cut and dry in high school. But on the flip side of that, one of the downsides is that I tended to be the person that would be doing a lot of the schoolwork, and then the group would get the credit. and not fail because I didn't want to fail. And that sucked. And I don't like that. I've never personally been in a situation where someone is trying to take credit for all my work or I've done work for someone. I don't think I've ever done that to anybody. Y'all heard the inflection in my voice. I don't know. I honestly don't know if I've ever done that to anybody. I know I wouldn't want to do that to anybody. I don't care to do that to anyone. I think usually my jobs, I still do a little IT work on the side. Stand-up comedy, I'm the only one doing my work. I'm the only one who's supposed to be doing my work. There are people that have people write their jokes for them, but that's fine. That's just not me. Podcast, I do this by myself, right? We have a weekly show at the Nightcap in Burbank. If you're in the LA area, we have a team, but no one really steps on anyone's toes on the team. But if someone wanted to somehow, for some reason, if I had a coworker that I did the work for them, man, I genuinely don't know what would make me more angry. Someone that, I don't care about the gossip at this point. I really don't care about the gossip. Say whatever you want. I don't care. What would make me more angry? Someone that doesn't understand my personal space, or someone who somehow has me doing all their work and somehow takes all the credit. I can't do that. Because think of it this way. I work in the entertainment industry. Cool. Yes, you can write a script. I write a script. Someone takes the credit. Can they write another script? Who knows? But what if that first script already made them $10 million? They never need to work again. If you finesse it correctly, once you get $10 million, you're good, right? Just live, below your means. Get a nice little investment savings account or whatever. Invest, live off the dividends. It's just, just live your life. Once you have 10 million, invest, own some property. Boom. So why would I want to do all the work in entertainment and someone takes all the credit? I don't know. If I was still working in IT, I wouldn't care. I would, as long as I'm getting paid. I can always finesse my way to do their job a little worse. Do my job good, but do their job a little worse. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'll do that. I'll do the doing your work. No, never mind. No, I won't. Because my work is my time. And my time is my only valuable thing that I have personally, that I feel. My time is the only valuable thing I personally feel like I have. So if I'm doing someone else's work and I'm doing my work, then that eats up my time and I can't do that. So I'm going to do the gossip. I'm going to yell at that person, right? It doesn't say I can't yell at them, but I'm going to have some choice words, So it is what it is. That is our constant choice.
Constant.
Let us continue. Would you rather never have internet access again or have walking more than 8,000 steps in a day make you paralyzed? Welcome back to Tough Choice. This is the month of champions. Internet or the risk of paralyzation? Is paralyzation a word? I don't know. I'm not looking it up. It's a word now. I couldn't live without the internet. Can I live without the internet? I can. No, I can't. Never have internet access again. Email. Right? A lot of times, especially what people don't understand, a lot of times my signal in this apartment isn't the best, but my signal with the Wi-Fi is good. A lot of times you're Wi-Fi calling. If you check your phone, a lot of times you're on Wi-Fi to make phone calls and not the actual cell signal. I don't know why, but that's just the weird truth of it all. There's no incentive for these cell phone companies to fix their signal or anything like that. I've been yawning. So if I'm yawning during this thing, my bad. This is being recorded during Ramadan. I am fasting. I'm a little tired, but not that tired to have to figure out internet. Listen, if I have to figure out internet, I'm going to be angry. If I never have internet access again, email, Wi-Fi calling, how am I gonna do much? You can't search, you can't Google anything. Damn. On the flip side of that, man, listen, 8,000 steps, give or take. I'm doing the math in my head. Let the math be mathin'. 4 miles. 8,000 steps is 4 miles. You can't walk more than 4 miles. Now, to even simplify that more, for those of you who went to public school and had gym class, 1 mile is 4 laps around the track. So 4 miles is 16 laps around the track. Walking, not running, walking. I can't. I don't know. I will say this. I'm going to count my steps. I'm going to get a fitness tracker, count my steps. And as soon as I hit 6K in a day, as soon as I hit 6K, you know what? It's time to go home. It's time to go home. That's going to suck because what if I want to travel? Like, you can't travel if you get paralyzed after 4 miles because all the cool places to travel, you got to walk around. I want to go to Tokyo. I want to go to the Bay. I want to go to DC. All of those are walking places. You can't go to New York. You have to take a taxi everywhere to New York, and that's expensive. That's really expensive. So I'm going to do the 8K, but I'm not going to like it. I'm definitely not going to like it. Would you rather be a drug mule for a Mexican cartel or casually bring up anal in every other human interaction? Human interaction, not with dogs, not with fish, not with anything. Human interaction. Okay. Being a drug mule for the Mexican cartel, it does not say that I'm not going to get caught. It doesn't say how long either. How long am I a drug mule? We'll be fair. Both situations, 2 years. Both situations, 2 years. A drug mule for the Mexican cartel. That means for some reason, drugs are inside my body and I have to smuggle them across the border. I'm not 100% sure. All right, drug mule. I got the definition. A person who A person who transports illegal drugs by swallowing them or concealing them in a body cavity. I like how they said body cavity. You're sticking them up your ass. That's what you're doing as a drug mule. You're either swallowing it or you're sticking it up your ass. Most of the time, you cannot swallow it because there's acid in your stomach that will tear through the bag. And then you might die. But if you stick it up your ass, I mean, I don't know how many drugs you need up there, but you know what? It's not my business. When you're a drug mule, you can't ask questions. When you are a drug mule, you may not ask any questions. This is this person. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. We need you to either take these pills, swallow them, or stick them up your ass. Or for 2 years, casually bring up anal in every human interaction. Now, I live in Los Angeles. I'm not saying I'm going to make it in 2 years, but I will say that there's a strong likelihood I will meet someone that can influence the trajectory of my career. And if I'm bringing up anal in every other human interaction, now that's very important to note what I just said. Casually bring up anal in every other human interaction. So every other. So there's going to be anal, then I'm not going to bring it up in the next interaction. Then there's going to be anal, then I'm not going to bring it up in the next interaction. So you know what? 2 years, I can't be a drug mule. I'm trying to think, because I know me, part of me was in my mind saying, well, if it's only 2 years, I can figure it out. I can figure out the casually bringing up anal. But then I'm just going to have them look it up. And what if they take forever? What? That doesn't make any sense. I can figure it out. I can figure out how to casually bring up anal. But do I want to do that? Do I want to spend the time and the energy figuring out how to casually bring up anal in every other human interaction? Because what if I'm walking through like Netflix or something? I talk to security guard, no anal. I talk to the secretary, anal. I talk to the first assistant, no anal. I talk to the vice president of development, anal. Like, you don't know. There's too many variables in stored for you for the naturally bringing up anal in every other conversation. I hope you guys understand that, because drug mule, I mean, listen, that's going to suck. I'm going to need heavy plastic. I'm going to need to like figure it out. My life is going to suck for 2 years, right? I'm assuming I'm getting paid, by the way. I'm assuming I'm getting paid. If there's any cartel members, don't kill me. I'm just joking. You know what I mean? Don't kill an American citizen. I know you guys don't really like killing American citizens, but so don't kill this one. But I'll stick something up my butt for you. I don't want to swallow anything. That's my problem. I don't want to swallow nothing. But if I must stick something up my butt for a Mexican cartel, then okay, I understand to an extent. Let's do some what would you do's. You notice your dad isn't getting older anymore. In fact, he's getting younger. He seems to have reverse aging disease. What do you do? Well, first of all, when do I find out he's not getting older? When? Right? Is it like 70th birthday most likely? He's getting younger. You notice? How did I notice? Did my mom notice? Is my mom still alive in this situation? Right? Because no one's getting younger but him. I mean, listen, it'd be cool to see what my dad would look like as a teenager, but it's not like his brain is reversing. His brain's still the brain. He's still my dad. He just looks younger than everybody now. And I don't like that. I don't like it. What would I do? I don't know. I would just accept it. It would suck. I would accept it and move on. I don't think I would. I really don't think I would want to tell anybody after a while, right? After a while, because it's like eventually he's going to look like he's 30 and I'm going to be 42. And then people are going to be like, wait, what? Who's I was going to say daughter. Who's son? It's interesting. Anyway, zombies are running amok all over the world. Your family escapes to a tropical island. When you arrive, you notice you yourself were bitten in the leg, but didn't notice it until now. In less than 24 hours, you'll be a zombie too. What would you do? Would I sacrifice myself to save my family? Yes. Would I sacrifice myself to save my friends? Which friends? My close friends? Yes. If we're just talking about a bunch of other comedians, all of us are going to be zombies together. You know? Does that make sense? Right? Because I don't know, man. Something about zombie. I just find out they did a movie about this. Right? Army of the Dead or something like that, where I think it was Dave that realized he got bit. No. It was Omari Hardwick's character that realized he got bit on the way to Mexico City, right? And what happened? I'm pretty sure they had to detain him or something or do something, right? I can't just let my family die, especially if I'm in like a sane state of mind and they're on an island, we're all on an island, and suddenly I realize I got bit, I would have to tell them to kill me. It would suck. I would tell them tie me up, pray, and then kill me. You're the manager of a professional sports team, but your players aren't following your orders. The star player is being a jerk and everyone else is following along. What do you do? So I'm the manager. It depends on what sports team. If I'm the manager and it's like football or basketball, then there's nothing I can do at the moment. But when it's time for contract negotiations, I'm not going to be too eager to go do something that you would need to do. Now, if you are a soccer player and you're the star player and I'm the manager, because in soccer, the manager is the coach. That's what they call the coaches, managers. So this actually happened. Cristiano Ronaldo, he was being an asshole, apparently, allegedly, during the FIFA World Cup. And the manager of the team made him sit on the bench because we don't play that shit where I'm from. Now, just in case you guys don't understand, Cristiano Ronaldo has the most goals in soccer. In the history of soccer, he has the most goals scored. The history of soccer, the history, not just, who's been playing a little there. I'm talking about real history. And he was made to sit on the bench because he had an attitude and the manager didn't really like that. And you know what? That's what I would do, right? That's what I would do. I'm going to assume it's soccer and I'm going to bench the player because you have to set an example. What you cannot do as a leader is make it normal for people to disrespect you. That cannot happen. So if you got to bench people, right? If you got to teach people a lesson, if you got to tell people we're not giving you any money, right? And if you're still an asshole, I'm going to trade you. I'm going to find out who your best friend is on this team and I'm going to trade him. That's what I'm going to do. You're the police chief and looking over the body camera footage of one of your officers. Instead of working, he spent the day riding a unicorn around the woods. What would you do? Okay, so in all fairness, in all honesty, when you do, I'm trying to think. If I'm a police chief, already off the jump, I'm going to be extremely corrupt. That's just who I am. If I'm a police chief, if I'm a regular person, I would never be corrupt. If I'm a police chief, I can be corrupt a little bit. I'll be corrupt a little bit as a police chief only. Now, if I'm a police chief, my corrupt self, I'm assuming I got people on the inside working for me. I'm assuming they want kind of the same thing. I don't know, man. I'm trying to think. This is hard. What would I do? I would say this. If it's a corrupt officer working for me, then I'll cut him some slack. I'll say, hey, saw about the unicorn, heard about it too, because I'm pretty sure you see a unicorn, it's gonna be, told. Are unicorns regular in this world? No, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say that this was a rare unicorn, and I'll probably threaten him or her, right? Either come on the squad or I'm firing you for dancing and playing around with the unicorn all day. That's it. That's what I would do. I would, if I'm not cool with the officer, he gets fired. And then I'm telling everyone he was dancing with the unicorn. And what are you doing all day? All day. I'm corrupt and it's going to be fuck 12 forever, but still, I took an oath in this imagined scenario. I took an oath to stand by, to protect, and to serve. So that's just me, though. That's just me. And I know me. So I wouldn't know. Guys, that is our episode. This has been Tough Choice with Kazeem Rahman. You can find me online at Kazeem Comedy. That's Kazeem Comedy. Like, share, subscribe to this podcast. We are growing and we love it. Also, if you have a tough choice question or a Mary Fuck Kill you want us to consider, email toughchoice@outlook.com. That is toughchoice@outlook.com. I've been Kazeem Rahman. You guys have been amazing. Bye.